Recently, Venerable Children gave an interview with a gentleman named Fleet Mall, who I believe is the founder of the Prison Mindfulness Institute. And he was incarcerated for 14 years based on a drug-related offense. And after he came out, he founded this institute to continue to bring meditation and the Dharma to people incarcerated across the US. And so I was just really deeply moved by how he took a very painful and difficult time in his life and really turned it into a bodhisattva activity that now his organization continues to grow. And from reading his biography, he's reaching out to people with all kinds of trauma, including genocide survivors. So yeah, just meeting him virtually was remarkable to me. But of course, hearing the dialogue between him and Venerable Children about the work she has been doing in prisons and the prison program here and how all that's interrelated was also very inspirational. And one of the highlights for me in their dialogue was hearing Fleet Mall say that research shows that for all these prison-related rehabilitation programs, the key factor that determines the impact of the program is the relationship between the facilitators and the incarcerated people, the quality of that relationship, more so than the content of the program itself. So that really hit home for me for two reasons. First, it reminded me very deeply of something I had heard while I was in teaching school. So when I was a public school teacher back in Singapore, we had an education psychology class taught by a professor who specialized in working with children with special needs, which she always reminded us included children who are labeled gifted, all the way to children who are labeled beyond parental control. Yeah, she always reminded us, no matter what society wants to say about children with different labels, they are all the same. And especially these two groups, they're just children with special needs that, the teachers and the system need to find ways to work with. And so one day she, talking to all of us rookie wannabe teachers, she said to us, "Are you here to teach a subject, or are you here to teach human beings?" That was probably the most important thing I learned in teaching school. Easy to hear, but extremely difficult to apply. So hearing Fleet Mall talk about that, that more than the content per se, the quality of the relationship between the teacher and student or facilitator and the people who are involved in the workshop or group is a key determining factor on the impact of how that learning experience unfolds. And I think for me, it made me rethink the teachings that we receive on the teacher-student relationship in a new light. Yeah, often these are complex, difficult teachings that are new to people who don't, especially in a society where maybe respect is not shown naturally to teachers or authority figures. Like here in the West, Venerable has chosen to teach the whole issue of teacher-student relationship at the end of the Lam Rim, just because of all the different issues and misunderstandings that can arise. But hearing that about the quality of that relationship made me appreciate why that's said to be the foundation of the spiritual path. And how the teachings in the Lam Rim are about developing a good relationship. It's not all on the side of the teacher or all on the side of the student, but it's like this interactive, mutually dependent process. Right? We hear teachings about how the kinds of qualities we want to look for in a qualified spiritual teacher and how we should take our time to observe and how to enter into that relationship at all. And then, of course, from our side, the kind of work we have to do to become a qualified student. And then along the way, all the different things we do, acts of service, right, ways to put the instructions into practice, how to offer our practice to our teacher. And that fundamentally, if we have entered into a relationship with a qualified teacher, their fundamental goal is to benefit all beings. And that's what they're going to be encouraging us to do. Yeah. So, and I think him saying that was very meaningful to me because my sense is that a lot of people now are learning to meditate or meeting the Dharma through books and apps. Yeah, many years ago, Venerable Children gave an interview to a young man who runs a podcast called Third Eye Drops. Eye drops to open your third eye. And what struck me was that, he said that he learned meditation entirely through an app. Yeah. For me, that was very shocking at the time. I don't know, this seems to be the norm now, I was like, what? And during their interview dialogue, Venerable had kind of gently put forward the idea that it's very helpful to have a living teacher, someone you can consult with about your meditative experiences or, obstacles that arise. And what I recall is him saying that, he doesn't trust a human teacher. Because people can get afflicted, organized religion, look at what it's become and things like that. So fair enough, okay, I can see his view. Yeah, so, an app where you can customize your experience based on, today I am joyful, so I want to meditate on gratitude, and then the app will, I guess, pop up an option for you. I've seen apps like that, where you can put in your mood and what you're looking to achieve in that session, and it will suggest things for you to meditate on. I guess that's kind of easier to relate to than a human being, I guess, who might be telling you your faults directly to your face and what you need to work on, right? Like, okay, turn it off, thanks. Your teacher, if you live with your teacher, that's all you can do. Yes. Yeah, but I came out of that interview just, surprised, thinking like, wow, this young man, he's missing out on such an important piece of the path. Yeah, which is that quality of relationship that really, I think, is at the heart of learning things that are meaningful and valuable that we want to apply in our lives. I personally can't think of any other way to learn how to apply and live the Dharma in my life. I could not learn that from a book or from an app. Yeah, it's really only come alive through living and studying with living practitioners. So yeah, I was glad to kind of see that research bears that out. And I really hope that's something that people think about when they embark on a journey to grow spiritually. Yeah, whether that's something that you can do just from an app or a book, or at some point it's important to interact and be in relationship with others. So that was just a small teaser for this quite marvelous interview. It will come out as part of a Prison Mindfulness Summit in October. So I think there are going to be many, many other speakers in the summit. It's going to be offered freely online, but it's a way for people to learn more about the work that's being done in prisons across the US, how people can get involved as volunteers, and yeah, to remember that we're all connected as human beings, and it's so important to heal through relationship, whether we are incarcerated or not. Incarcerated people are part of our society, and we all play a part in staying connected and bringing them back into society, I guess, into the fold.